You have to literally be out your everlasting mind if you thought I wasn't gonna drop a video this week. Hey, listeners, welcome back to the Review podcast. It's been a minute. I technically haven't released a video the entire month of June, so I didn't get to wish you guys happy Pride, but that's okay. Last week when Bridgerton dropped, one I was like exhausted, so I didn't actually watch Bridgerton when it dropped. I watched it Friday after work, so I was like, when next week comes, I'll give my official review. And then House of Dragons, is back on HBO Max, wherever you watch it. I watch it on Max. And so I was just like, I'm just like overfilled. So I was like I wanted to rewatch season one of Dragons before I watched season two. And that took a lot. I started classes. There was a holiday this week, Juneteenth. So a lot happened why I didn't drop an episode during the time period that I usually drop an episode. And before that, there was nothing really worthy. And I knew that after Bridgerton, House of Dragons was coming. But then, like, when the week came and Bridgerton dropped, I completely forgot the House of Dragons was dropping as well. So I was just off my game, guys. But I'm back. Plus, in the midst of all of this, I'm moving. So it's a lot, guys. But let's start off with Juneteenth. Juneteenth was yesterday, June 19th. Juneteenth, hence that. If you didn't know that, I just have only a couple of things to speak on when it comes to Juneteenth. I am a black woman in America, and I know it wouldn't be possible for me to be a black woman in America if it weren't for the events that took place before I was even thought of. The things that took place before myself, my mother, and maybe even before my grandmother was born. Um, when you think of Juneteenth, people just think of like, oh, black people just want a holiday because they feel like slavery this, slavery that. I feel like the importance behind Juneteenth is not taught in schools. And if it is taught in schools, it's probably not taught to the full extent that it needs to be taught. But I will say kudos if it is taught in school, because I definitely did not know what Juneteenth was, or technically when slaves were free in America. Growing up, going to history classes, and I really like history. I feel like since becoming an adult, like I feel like I learned more about Juneteenth when I was like 15, 16. I want to lean more on the 16-ish, and that's just because of like social media. And then obviously being in college and taking history classes and English classes, I've learned a lot more about American history and stuff like that. So I feel like that plays a huge role in why I know more than what I used to when it comes to Juneteenth. I definitely think, some people take it as a joke, where it's like, if you're working on Juneteenth, it's not fair. And I completely agree, because at first we were only going to get Juneteenth off as like work Monday, Tuesday, have Wednesday off, be at work Thursday and Friday. And I was like, that's kind of bogus in the way, because for 4th of July, we have damn near a whole week off. And I understand 4th of July is celebrating the independence of America, but Juneteenth is celebrating the independence for, the black and brown people. And that should be just as significant as 4th of July. And I think in recent years, it's gotten more light than what it has in the past. Juneteenth has been around for decades. And I think now in 2024, it's getting even more recognition. I think when 2025 and 2026 comes, you'll see a lot more stuff like that. I like to say I'm an educated woman when it comes to the culture, because I try to know my history. I know my mom was born in Jamaica and I was born in Florida, so I am an American by that, you know. Um, might sound naive of me, but I don't think my family were slaves in America. Maybe in Europe, but not America. That's just me. But I do believe that not, or let me reword that. I would like to believe that not every black family ancestral line succumbed to slavery. I want to believe that some were able to escape those hard labors, but I don't know the past. I only know the present and the stories that I've told of the past. And some you can trust, some you can't. Um, I started one of my classes earlier this week, well, last week technically, but I was reading one of the lectures, and it's like a story, like the more you tell it, it loses interest. And my teacher had referenced like the telephone game, like when you tell somebody something, you keep passing it on, how eventually like the original message is no longer what the latest message is. And I don't really, I do and I don't, but like when I was watching that lecture and I was listening to it and I heard it like that, it made so much sense. And we were talking about, I think, like the Navajos, and it just made so much sense for a lot of things in history in general, because it's like, yeah, this is a story that was told X, Y, and Z um, how many years ago, but you don't know what parts you're missing. And I think that plays a huge part. Slaves were free before Juneteenth, but because of like olden times, how long it took news to get passed, it wasn't official until June 19th, when like all African Americans, enslaved individuals, whether free or not, fully known to the extent that slavery was no longer a thing. So I definitely think Juneteenth plays a huge, huge, huge important role. I will never, ever not speak about this great lady called my grandmother, because if it wasn't for her, I don't think my family would have any, that I know of, any type of history in America. I probably wouldn't have even been born. So it's things like that. For Juneteenth, that's what I reflected on. Like, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful that we're allowed to live our life the way we want to. I'm thankful for my friends, because all my friends are either black or Hispanic. So I'm really thankful that we're all able to live our life the way we want to. Some people might disagree with the way we live our life or the things we do, like our parents, but it is what it is. And it's just stuff like that. I hope people educate themselves more on their culture and history. And I think it's not only important to be educated and knowledgeable on your own culture and history, but others, because you never really know, you never really know about the Mexican culture or just Spaniard culture in general. Like in Spain, like you just never really know. A lot has happened in America. So it's just, just stuff like that. And I think a lot is about to happen in the world. I heard something about a war. I don't pay attention to the news. I get my news from TikTok, and even then I don't get the news. So people are like, yeah, this happened. And I'm just like, when did that happen? I was not tracking anything. Like, I'm always lost in the sauce because I really just don't pay attention. And you're like, girl, but aren't you? Yes, but don't mean news get passed to me. Come on now. So yeah, I hope you guys had a really nice Juneteenth. 4th of July is around the corner. Like I said, 4th of July, I have like almost damn near a whole week off. Since I didn't get to do, I guess, what I wanted to for Juneteenth because of so much that I got going on. For 4th of July weekend, I'm gonna make it up. I have like a black barbecue plan. Like, I just got so many things like under my sleeves you don't even know. I've been picking out like what I want to like bartend, because like I love making signature drinks for events now. Ever since Christmas, I love it. I did it for Christmas and I did it kind of for New Year's, so I want to do it again for Juneteenth / 4th of July, and stuff like that. Um, I started classes. I'm only taking 2 classes because summer semester is really short. Classes start in mid-June and end early August, so I don't have a lot of time. My midterms are literally not even that far away, because July is right around the corner, and literally right after summer semester, I'll probably have like maybe a week and a half before fall semester starts. So yeah, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. The day has come for me to finally leave this wretched apartment. I don't want to say it was all bad. I'm thankful and blessed that I was able to have a roof over my head and still be able to provide for myself. I don't have a family yet, but to know that, I still made it through almost a year of living here, because technically I won't live here for a full year because I moved in at the beginning of July and I'm moving out before then. is nice. And my next apartment, I wish nothing but blessings to myself and my dog Delilah. But even Delilah has endured living here because I moved in July and I got her mid August. I got her on my cat's birthday, August 19th. So it was a lot. I'm excited to move over these next couple of days. We'll see what happens. I'm mostly prioritizing not the podcast, but my homework and my move because like I still gotta get it done. Like I go to work Friday and Monday, and then after that I'm off for the next like 2 days, bro. And I'm just gonna try to get as much as done as I can this upcoming weekend and those days that I have off. I requested more days off, but we're not gonna get into that story because sometimes people are just selfish, and sometimes you have to be the better person. But I learned a lesson that I'm not really good at being the better person because when I do attempt to be the better person, it eats me alive. Some people are meant to be mean and cold hearted and just like ruthless. And I believe I'm one of those people because sometimes when I'm nice, it's just eating away at me and it just sucks because I could have had Tuesday all the way till Saturday off. Now I only have Tuesday and Wednesday off. So yeah, and that really sucks. I have to go to work next week Thursday and Friday. Technically I'm working, just working from home, but like still I rather like not have to think about work when I have another important matter to deal with, especially when I plan ahead of time for it. But like I said, that's nor here nor there. Plus like the week after starts 4th of July, so I would have to work for like 2 days and then like I'm off for the holidays and I'm like then it's already like mid-July. Then like I had everything lined up. But I keep saying it's nor here nor there, but literally it's nor here nor there because the events that took place already happened like a week or two ago, so I can't really go back in the past about it. But it is what it is. And I'm like, I know you guys are gonna be like, this is a really long introduction. I'm just trying to catch you guys up so you guys don't think like this girl is fake, she don't care about us, yada yada yada. What else happened? I think that was it. Holidays, work, school, move. It's just a lot of stuff, guys. Just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And I'm just going through it. Sometimes sometimes you just want to pop open a glass of wine and just sit down. I promise you I'm not an alcoholic, but sometimes wine just honestly takes the pressure off the table. But let's talk about Bridgerton first. Bridgerton part 2 dropped like last week, so you guys had more than a week to like get it together. Unlike when I spoke about the first episode, I did not like the first 4 episodes, and I was very I very much so voiced my opinion how much I did not like the first 4 episodes, and the second 4 episodes made me like it again. However, I did agree with a good chunk of people saying like, we could have kept Lady Whistledown a secret just like one more season. I completely agree. And I've never read the Bridgerton books, but technically it's out of order because season 3 should have been Benedict, not Colin. But that's no here nor there. Now the debate is up in the air on whether or not season 4 is Benedict or Eloise. And from what I read, the ball that Lady Violet Bridgerton is hosting is where Benedict is supposed to meet his sweetheart. So people are like, season 4 is Benedict, season 4 is Benedict. And like some people in the like end scene when Eloise is going in the carriage with her sister, she puts her hand on the window, people are like, she did a 4, like season 4 is hers. And it's like, oh my god, we'll find out. And then I hear something about this 2-year break, and it's just like, we're not doing a 2-year break. You need to figure it the freak out because it already took forever for us to get season 3 and y'all split it up into 2 parts. Like, I'm not waiting 2 years for season 4. Like, that's nor here nor there. And I think maybe people are misreading it. Like, maybe there's like a 2-year age gap in the series, but like, I'm not waiting 2 years to see who's next. Like, but 2 years from now, I could have a man. I could be just out of this like whole state of Bridgerton. Like, we don't want that. We don't want that. Like, come on now. I just want my season 4. But let's talk about Miss Penelope. But first, I love Penelope's mom. I'm sorry. People might be like, she's so mean with that. I feel like she really reasoned with Penelope, and a lot of people saw it that like Penelope is more like Portia than people would like to believe, and I completely agree. And even when Portia's like, I married your dad for security, this, and that, like, I just wanted, what was best for you guys, you three were the best thing that happened to me, and I've always wanted better for you guys. Like, it really shows, because I feel like you see this woman who's just like cold hearted, doesn't really care about her kids, let alone Penelope, but she just wanted what's best for her daughters. She wanted them to have a man that would provide for them, unlike her husband, their father, who didn't. He just gambled away their money, and in death, he couldn't even do anything right, because he died doing what caused his family just, agony. So it was just things like that, and it was just a lot, and I'm really excited to see Portia and Violet, be mamas together to their grandson. It was a lot. I'm just surprised that she actually had a baby, because that was another thing. She wasn't supposed to have a boy. She was supposed to have a girl, and the girl's supposed to be named Agatha after Lady Danbury, because Lady Danbury was supposed to play a very, very, very important role in Penelope and Colin's love story. However, she didn't. She was more on Francesca. So it's like, okay. I had read somewhere that people were like, oh, season 3 didn't really feel like Colin and Penelope season. And I kind of have to say, I agree to a certain extent. Like, it was their season, but like they had invited in so many people and drama that I could see how one would perceive it as it not being their season. Because I mean, like, when you look at season 1, it was just wrapped around, Daphne and Simon. You had the little side stories, and like same thing for season 2. But I feel like, season 3, it's like, And like, I feel like I love how they didn't shine the light too much on Kate and Anthony, because I think people are still obsessed with them. But I loved how they still included them in like majority of stuff, because it was like really, really nice. I hope they come back in season 4, and if they don't, I'm not watching Bridgerton, because we need to stop losing characters, okay? Miss Shonda Rhimes, we need to stop losing characters. You need to lock them, the mother truckers, in contracts that you cannot leave until the series is complete. Because I promise you I can't. Daphne not being part of season 3 was kind of like, I know she wasn't going to be part of season 3, but it's like, bruh, she really not part of season 3? And then, I'm jumping all over the place. Francesca, people say Francesca's story is really sad. And sometimes I wish TikTok and the internet didn't exist, because like I didn't need to know, like, let me get my heart broken on my own. Like, I'm very adamant, like, let me break my own heart, don't break it for me, come on now, because they're like, her story's gonna be really sad, and I'm just like, bro, shut up. So we'll see whenever that happens. I don't know, season 4 is like, it's giving me highs, because it's like I really don't know what to expect. And then like Benedict, they're like, he's gay, and all I have to say is I don't think Benedict's gay. He is just, very open-minded. I don't think he's not gay, he's not bi, he's just really open-minded, because he doesn't really know what he wants. He turned down Lady Arnold at the end of the season, so it's like he doesn't really know what he's kind of lost. And I think going into season 3, after we saw how season 2 ended, we knew he was going to be lost. Like, he gave up drawing, because he thought, like, my brother paid for it. Like, I didn't earn this spot because of my own merit. So, like, I don't want it. And then, season 3, he's, like, kind of taking on the role of Viscount when Anthony is on his honeymoon with Kate, and just whenever, and even, like, when Anthony and Kate decide to go to India to see her family, just stuff like that. And I think, he's really lost. Even, like, when the old dude he kissed asked him, like, what do you do? Like, do you paint? He's like, no, I don't really do anything. And it's like, Benedict, you are a gentleman. Come on, you are an artiste. Like, there's just so much more he could have said, and it was just like, ugh, like, I hate it. I just hate it. I really hope the best for Benedict when season 4 comes, because I don't know what to expect. And like the same thing for Eloise, now that she's leaving with Francesca, who is married. Eloise will find something out there in Scotland, I think is where they're going. And I'm very hopeful to see it. I'm really excited for whenever Eloise season does come, because she is supposed to marry Sir Crane, that's who Marina, the Featherington's cousin, that's who she married in season 1, and you saw her in season 2 with her twins. And I really want to see how that story plays out. I want to see how her brothers get in there. I want to see everything about it. I really liked Marina. I wish we saw more of her, but alas, I know not every character is meant to stay for the entire season. But it really, 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 really did suck. But I did like Marina because she did like shine a light. Like she was like trying to tell Colin, like, you have somebody who loves you with their whole entire life and being, and you ignore her at every chance you get. You know, stuff like that. You know, to draw the attention to Colin and Penelope. Their relationship was just very much like, people said like it's like friends to lover or whatever. I'm not really a friends to lover girl, because it's like, like sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's just like I don't really care. I don't really care. But when he found out that Penelope was Lady Whistledown, in my 21st century mind, I'm thinking, you're in a horse and a carriage. You're telling me you didn't hear this man? Nobody saw this horse and carriage? You didn't check your surroundings, and then you walking up to the postman with your little Irish accent, and you telling him to print this, and you break that poor boy heart. And it's like, oh my God. I feel like Colin and Penelope's like love arc was like a clash between Daphne and Anthony's. And I say that in a way because Anthony loved Kate so much to the point where he thought he hated her, and Colin wanted to hate Penelope, but at the end of the day he loved that girl, and their love seemed pure like Daphne and Simon's to me. And it was just like so contradicted, and like he compromised her. Like the carriage scene in like episode 4, I think it was not all that. The broken furniture in the mirror. Can we just talk about that love making scene for a second? No way am I body shaming Nicola, the girl who played Penelope. It just really caught me off guard because I didn't really think. I'm not thinking about the love making scenes when it comes to Bridgerton. I'm just thinking about the words and what they say, and like his saying like, for God's sake, Penelope Featherington, are you gonna marry me? That doesn't hit the same. Like, burn for you, or the bane of my existence. That doesn't hit the same. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's just my prerogative. And, you know, I don't know if I'm using that word right, but that's just my opinion. And I'm going to stick with it because it's just like, what, are you kidding me? They're like the broken furniture and stuff like that. And I'm like, they're a great match. Because I'm not going to lie. At first, the way Colin would act towards Penelope, I'm just like, maybe he doesn't love her. And then when he kind of like showed his bravo, with her mother, and then again when they got married, when Cressida, I don't know if they were married yet, I can't remember, but when Cressida was trying to blackmail her, it just showed, you know, okay, this man actually does love her. So it's gonna be nice to see how that plays out in season 4 also, and just going forth in general. Cressida, I feel like, so like Cressida's always been like a bully or whatever, but I feel like this season she really hit her villain arc, and I just love that Cressida has the most elaborate hair and outfits, because it's like, as you should. She's giving main character energy, and she's not even the freaking main character, and I just loved everything about it. And even like her mom trying to write a Whistledown thing and everything, like her claiming to be Lady Whistledown and whatnot. It was a lot. Her blackmailing Penn. It was a lot. I really, really hope to see Cressida again, because she was just like the Queen said. You know, everybody needs a little bit of gossip. You know, however she worded it. Like, you just need a little gossip in your life, and she brings the gossip and the drama. Like, she just brings it all. Fierce fire. It's just all there. So I really hope she comes back. I can't wait to see Cressida rise up again, because I know she will. And then can we talk about Lady Danbury, Violet, and her brother, Lord, I don't know his name. I don't know. Lord Anderson. I was about to say Lord Anthony. Lady Danbury's disgust for her brother was hilarious. And I love that in the end they were able to recognize their differences. And, you know, the thing where he was like, I couldn't, like, not please our father. Yes, you can. You 100%. There is always a way to disappoint your parents. I promise you. Breathing the wrong way would disappoint your parents. There's always a way. But I understand how he's like, I was younger. I didn't know better. Like, I just wanted to please my father. Like, how was I supposed to know he was a bad man? I didn't realize till growing up, and everything had already happened between us. And it's like, it was nice to see that she reconciled, and then to see her stand 10 toes down plus a cane on her relationship with Violet, saying like, that's my friend. Like, if anything happens to her because of you, like, that's my friend. Like, I don't care about blood. That's my friend. I was boots with her daddy. Like, no, like, she was just really, like, you know, just how protective she was over Violet and everything like that. And then even Violet and Lord Anderson starting something up. And it's like, everybody keeps talking about how, like, the Bridgertons like a little bit of chocolate in their milk. And it's like, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it all. Because have you noticed, especially this season, the men are like, like, if I had to choose somebody to marry, I would marry Mr. Mondridge. Only because, like, muscles. And he just, like, I'm not really a dark chocolate type of girl. Like, that dark chocolate. But the gentlemen this season were really serving. Like, Lord Anderson is very well put together. I know he's way older than me, but he was very well put together. Same thing for Lord Kilmartin. Or he's an earl. I think he's an earl. Francesca husband. It was just really, really nice to see, like, these nice gentlemen. And then even when I saw the pictures of them, like, stepping out for, like, the second half of season 3 on the carpet, I was just like, oh my god, stop. Miss Shonda Rhimes, stop playing with it, girl. Tell me where you find these men. Tell me where you're finding these men, because I need to know, like, ASAP. And then even Hyacinth and Gregory, their relationship and their sibling relationship, and then even seeing it, like, off cameras, oh my god, I love it. I love the entire Bridgerton family. Like, there's nothing you can tell me about Bridgertons that I'm going to hate. I love it all. 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 Now, I think that's enough about Bridgerton. I can't wait for season 4. Keep me updated. I'll keep you guys updated when season 4 is set to drop, or what's coming for season 4. Whose season 4 be? They thrown hints saying that season 4 is going to be Eloise season. It's just like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. I know it's not Francesca season, and if by some miracle it becomes Francesca season, I'm just going to flip a whole checkerboard, because I'm just going to be like, you're throwing the whole game away, because that would just make no sense. But it's definitely a battle between Eloise or Benedict, but we shall see. I love Claudia Justi. She's so funny. I know, like, we could be really good friends if it wasn't for the age gap. But a good age gap doesn't mean anything sometimes. Anyways, on to the House of Dragons. I've never watched Game of Thrones, and I've said it before, and I don't plan on watching Game of Thrones, because I don't need to watch Game of Thrones to understand House of Dragon, and I really like it. And just a little recap from season 1. Viserys, he named Rhaenyra his heir, and he died. He died telling a story about fire and ice, and he was telling it to Queen Alicent, but he thought that was his daughter, and he wasn't talking about Aegon, their son. He was talking about Aegon the Conqueror that came before them, and she took that as, okay, he wants Aegon to be on the throne, so now the greens versus the black. And now you technically have 2 rulers. You have King Aegon and you have Queen Rhaenyra, who so tragically in the last episode lost her middle son with Laenor, quote unquote, Lucerys. And oh my god, can I just say, rewatching that episode, seeing the look on Lucerys' face, it, like, I feel like it didn't really register with me the first time. And watching it again, since I haven't watched it in over a year, seeing the look on his face, he loved his mom so much. He was so scared to become Lord of the Tides after his grandsire, Lord Corlys, because he just knew everybody was dead, and everybody dead. He doesn't want everybody to be dead, and it's so sad. And peacefully, he died first before everybody could die. But then season 2, you just see Rhaenyra is just so sad. And Daemon is just, like, bloodthirsty, like, to, like, hey, we want his head. We want his head. I I'm at a loss for how episode 1 of season 2 ended because a babe was killed. I don't know what's gonna happen after Queen Alicent was caught being a lusty little girl with Sir Christian. And can I just say, Sir Christian hates Rhaenyra so much. But he was knocking boots with her all them years ago. But all because she wanted to stay and actually follow in her family legacy. He thought her she was a whore. She's this. He called her all these usurped names. Called her a cunt in season 2. All these things. I'm pretty sure he said that word before. But it's like, now you're just a little plaything for the queen. You could have been a plaything for the queen too, because Rhaenyra is gonna be queen. It's just stuff like that. And it was just like, bro, it's so tacky. And then Rhaenyra, she not only lost, her son Lucerys, she lost her daughter as well, which was really, really sad to lose 2 kids and pretty sure in such a close time is very upsetting. And Aemon, who flies Vhagar, who seems very shocked that Lucerys had died, and his dragon too, because he couldn't control Vhagar. It was a lot. I really want to see Aemon's head on a spike. And I know people are like, "A Son for a Son" was the name of episode for season 2. It's kind of like when Aemon lost his eye, but it's like Aemon lost his eye because he was just being a dick to not only his nephews but his to Baela and Rhaena as well, and that was so uncalled for. So it's like, that's why you lost an eye. You were just being mean. The poor girl, Baela and Rhaena, had just lost their mother. Vhagar was their mother's dragon, and you just took her. Like, you're just being mean, dude. And so, you lost an eye, and then everything like that. And Alicent was hell-bent on getting an eye for her, and it's like, no. I really am excited for Sunday. Sunday night to see what happens next, because that way episode ended. Poor Helena. I can't wait to see what happens next. Whose head will be cut off next? It's like what's that name? The Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts. Off with his head. It's just like everybody's heads are just getting cut off. Everybody's just dying, just one by one. They're just dying. I do feel sad, however, that Rhaenyra never actually got to see her son's body, but she found a dragon wing, the dragon wing that her son rode. I can't remember his dragon name. That was really sad. And I think the saddest moment in the show was not Rhaenyra finding the dragon's wing to confirm that her son had died. Was when her oldest son, Jacaerys, came back. Can I just say one thing? I kind of like the names, like Jacaerys, Lucarius, freaking Rhaena, Baela. Like, I like these medieval type names. Like, man, I'm about to reconsider what I'm naming my kids. But anyways, when Jacaerys came back and he's like, "Your Grace," and he's trying to, be a messenger because he was sent to do something, and he's trying to report back to, his mother, and he just couldn't keep it together, and she hugs him, and they just cry together. It's really sad because it's like, I don't think anybody knows what it feels like to lose a sibling. I don't want to know. And I felt really bad for both of them in that moment. And it really shows how people in your family could grieve differently, because Rhaenyra immediately got on her dragon and was like, "I'm going to go find my son's body. You're not telling me my son's dead. My son cannot be dead." And Jacaerys, he's kind of still trying to, like, be, like a man, and, just, yeah. And, but, he's sad he lost one of his younger brothers. And Daemon is he just wants to kill. And I don't blame him. Kill all of them. If I was Rhaenyra, I would have hopped on my dragon. I would have went to King's Landing, and I would have killed all of them. Burn the fucking castle down. Excuse my language, but I would have done it all. She lost her kid. Aemon lost an eye. He is still fine, lives and breathes. Lucerys wasn't even like a teenager. He was still young. And he has such a sweet, sweet little baby face. Like, I would burn their castle to the ground. You want to take my throne? Have my throne in death. Like, what? And Alicent, she still loves Rhaenyra in a certain extent. And it's like, that was all thrown out the window the moment your son killed her son, and I know that's her brother or whatever, but I'll be like, I want his head on a pike, delivered, all nice and pretty, and I'm gonna cook it up, and I'm gonna season it up very, very well, and I'm gonna feed it to you, and you're gonna be like, so delicious, and you're gonna be like, what is this? And I'll be like, revenge, because of what the freak, I messed up my whole thing, but revenge is a dish best served cold, and in this case, I'm gonna serve it well seasoned. Like I completely feel for Rhaenyra and everything like that, and I love how the Princess Rhaenys, is kind of at Rhaenyra's side. Can I just say, Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, Rhaena, rah 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 rah. All their names, like sometimes it confuses me. Like I'm still like learning to remember, like this is how you say it. Like I could say the name, I just gotta make sure I'm saying it to the right person. And I think it was Raina who was really sad also when Sirius died. Not only because that was her betrothed, but that was her cousin. Like that was family. Like, you know, they married cousins, family, and sisters like that back then. But it was just really, really sad. Really, really sad to see. But, you know, next week, well, not next week, this Sunday, we're gonna see what happens. The next House of Dragon. I probably won't drop an episode. I'm moving, guys. I'm moving. I got so much to do. I have to pack up everything. Everything's, for the most part, everything's really packed up. But I gotta pack up the Mana stuff and everything like that. And I don't know, after a very hectic week of moving and rearranging stuff to where I want it to be, if I'm gonna want to record an episode. So this might be the one and only episode for June until the second week of July, because then you have 4th of July. And like I said, I don't really do episodes during the holiday weeks, because it's just not me. I started watching, before I let you go, I started watching show. I've watched it years ago. It was called Unexpected. You can watch it on HBO Max. I think it originally was on TLC, if I'm not mistaken, but you can watch it on HBO Max, or Max, my bad. And it's kind of like 16 and Pregnant, but not 16 and Pregnant, because they don't have to technically be teenagers, but most of them are young, just young women in general who got pregnant at very young ages. And let me just say, the show is my cup of tea, because it just shows me, like, I look at this, I used to watch 16 and Pregnant before I was even a teenager, and it just like amazes me that I'm like 23 and I haven't had a kid, and none of me and my siblings, none of us have kids. My mother is not a grandmother, and she really wants to be one, but it's like, oof, she's gonna wait like at least like 5 more years, at a minimum 5 more years before she sees a grandchild. And it sucks because my brother even said the other day that he's waiting on me to have the baby, and it's like, you're older, give me a niece or nephew. Why do I have to give you a niece or nephew? Give me a niece or nephew. Like what? Like what? It was just like so weird. But I am so happy I'm back, guys. I'm gonna try to be back better than ever. But we'll see what happens. About Bridgerton, House of Dragon, life, just all of the above, all of the above. But as always, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like and follow, subscribe, all of those down below. There's like a bell where you can see where you get notifications. There's a Review for Views Instagram page down below. It's listed as well. Make sure you follow. I'm ready to do this again. Like, I'm back. I'm on the mic. It's your girl Avi. Anyways, happy listening, y'all, and happy Pride and happy Juneteenth.